I'd be lying if I sat here and told you I expect to see some heroic performance where Steph drops 35 to 40 points while fighting through this injury. Now, as someone that picked the Warriors, obviously, I hope he can do that, but I can't say I'm confident that he will for a couple of reasons. One, even though he's going to play, which is great, it scares me that he compared this injury to what happened when Marcus Smart landed on his foot in March. Steph missed 12 games because of that. So if this is anything close to that, he's showing valor by going out there and playing, but I don't know how effective he'll be. And secondly, even if it doesn't bother him that much, Steph just, look, for all the great numbers he's put up in the finals, and I've quoted him ad nauseum, 26 points a game in his finals career, which is great, 10th all time. The fact is he doesn't have that one game or moment that is heroic. The Michael Jordan flu game, the Isaiah Thomas 25-point quarter on a sprained ankle. He doesn't have that. And so I can't count on him delivering it tonight. Now, Nick, we've been talking for a week and a half, 2 weeks about Steph's need for this moment. Maybe this will be it. I certainly would love it. I think a lot of basketball fans would love it, even if you're not necessarily rooting for the Warriors. But I can't say I'm confident it's going to happen. So what I hope the injury doesn't affect him significantly. I hope he can go out and play his typical game, which is, say, 25 to 30 points, which is great. But they're going to need Klay to be as great as he was in Game 3. Wiggins is going to have to hit threes as well as scoring on drives to the bucket. I need something from Jordan Poole. I need his best game in 3 weeks. I need 17 to 20 from Jordan Poole. And I need Draymond to have a bounce-back game, meaning he anchors a defense that limits the Celtics a lot better than it did in Game 3. So I don't think – well, no, it's not good luck. It's very possible. But that's what I need. I need more of a team effort than just Steph putting them on his back.
The thing I was saying good luck to was Draymond anchoring anything other than the next episode of the Draymond Green show. I don't think that's coming. So good luck on that. But
it better come.
Sometimes I get a little frustrated, and this is not frustration with you three wonderful people. This is frustration with the media at large, because I feel like Steph Curry lives in this perfect little Goldilocks zone of if you dare say, I don't think he's one of the 10 greatest players ever, you're a hater. But also, if you dare say, I think he should score more than 2 points in a fourth quarter of the finals, you're like, oh my God, watch the games. And now we have this injury, okay? I'm not doubting his foot hurts, but here's what I know. After it happened, he was so injured, his coach left him in the game until he took everyone out. Steve Kerr was asked about that and said as much after the game, and we saw it. We also know that he did not even get an MRI. Yet, we sit here today and we're like, oh, flu game. Isaiah Thomas's ankle is what it's going to take from Steph Curry. Jason Tatum's shoulder hurts. Marcus Smart's or Robert Williams' knee hurts. It's the NBA Finals. It's game 100 for a lot of these guys. There are bumps and bruises and dings. And I just feel like this is a premeditated media attempt to make sure that win, lose, or draw, Steph Curry, God forbid, it's like, hey, it has been 6 finals, and I would like to see him have an all-time moment or an all-time series. And I think that Brian Windhorst and Zach Lowe are as good as talking about the NBA as anyone in the world outside of the people on this show. And I listened this morning, actually, to their Game 3 immediate recap pod. And one of them called Steph's performance sensational, and the other called it scintillating. And I have so much respect and adoration for Wendy and Zach. And again, I'm asking myself, That was a 4-point game going into the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter started with a Steph turnover, another Steph turnover, another Steph turnover, and then Robert Williams blocking a shot. He finished with 2 points, and they got blown out. Scintillating, sensational, top 10 guy all time. It's a weird place we are with the second greatest player of his generation, where it's like, Bruce said it. Bruce like 25 to 30. Okay, 25 to 30 is not going to be enough. And it's not what we would be asking Kevin Durant in this spot or Giannis in this spot. Speaking of guys with injuries, Giannis's knee bent backwards before the finals last year. I mean, he seemed to be okay. Before LeBron James had a shattered hand after he punched a wall. No, when I bring that up, people say, oh, Nick, you're making excuses.
Oh.
Well, it's just an odd spot.
So, you know what?
It's just an odd spot that we're in.
Shattered hand. I mean, I would say I'm not as critical as I'm not as critical about Steph as you are. Now, if he did show up at a press conference with his foot in a wrap that no one had heard about, I think that would deserve a little bit of a side eyes glance. Like, what's up with that wrap? Like, nah, kicked a wall after the loss. Okay, here's what I do think. I do think he's a little bit injured. And I do think it'll affect his play. Do I think he can go out and score 25 points? Yeah, probably. I still think you can hit those threes. Do I think he's going to be even more of a defensive liability than he was in Game 3? Absolutely. I think the Celtics are going to have a target on his back. Now they've got a target on his chest. Like, let's keep on attacking Steph. Now, in the first 2 games, he actually played some good defense. And everyone started to make sleep on Steph's defense. Oh, he locked down Al Horford, even though Al Horford had perhaps the least confident offensive possession in recent finals memory when he didn't just shoot over Steph. Game 3 was a different story. 10 for 16. The Celtics shot 62. I'm going to round it up to 63%. Specifically, Marcus Smart took him down in the paint. Scored. Celtics got him as the primary defender 5 times in the paint. They scored 4 times. So I think that Ime Udoka is going to go back to that well, Broussard. Say, look, Steph probably won't be able to guard us on the perimeter if we run him around. If we run him around, get him down in the paint. We were successful in Game 3. I think it's going to be a big, you know what, Broussard? I said 15.5. Game 3, I think we're going to go 11. An 11-point victory in Game 4.
Wow.
And we'll see you on Monday. You're going to be in a bad spot. I might go to Amazon and get myself an olive branch as like a prop to offer it to you. It's not too late to come over.
Well, look, we'll see how bad this injury is and if it's bylaws worthy. You know, if it gets me out of this jam I may be in, if he's really banged up.
Injured.
But let me address Nick. Let me address this, Nick. Your evidence is that he stayed in the game for the next 2 minutes. Well, when LeBron, I remember, was it last season, 2 seasons ago, I guess, when LeBron injured himself, was it his ankle, I think? Stayed in the game.
He stayed in
to
for
hit
one
a 3.
possession.
Okay, but hit a 3, jogged back down,
and then
left the game and missed. And then, but he stayed in the game. That was your argument.
I understand.
Steph stayed in the game for 2 minutes. So just stop with that.
2 pieces.
Secondly, the MRI, I'll give you that. But secondly, where's this media conspiracy to crown Steph? In 2015, I think you agree with me. He should have been Finals MVP if you say it wasn't LeBron. He didn't get it. That was the media voting. The media is not, half the media likes Steph, half the media doesn't. It's similar to LeBron. Very polarized.
Half the media doesn't like
that
Steph?
People are trying to, he was second team all NBA. Are they trying to crown him? They could have easily put him ahead on the first team if they were all enamored with him. I'm just saying, sure, there are people that love him, but this notion that people are trying to set Steph up to be protected, where's that coming from? Because Wendy and Zach Lowe said it? That's not the whole media?
No. It's not that. And another friend of ours, Jeff Van Gundy, is, I think, the only person with me on this, that there are certain guys that they're either awesome or hurt. That when they don't play well, it's like, oh boy, must be dealing with something. And we saw it all through 2016 because Steph did get injured in 2016 and missed time and then came back in that game against Portland. And that game against Portland, he had 17 points in overtime in his first game back and triumphantly declared, "I'm back." And then all of a sudden, when the season's slipping away in the finals, he's healthy during the 3-1 comeback against OKC. Season's slipping away in the finals, and it's, well, let's be honest, Steph was hurt. Steph was hurt. The idea that there hasn't been, with every poor Steph performance, the caveat of, oh, maybe he's injured, dealing with something. And now I'm not doubting that his foot hurts. I'm not doubting that. But I am saying you're the guy on the show that is running Baker Mayfield out of the league for playing through injury and not playing well enough.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.